Tav X, purity becoming one. Tav X, purity becoming one. Tav X, purity becoming one. Tav X. I don't know why this is so hard to get it. I don't know, the camera's messing with me. I don't know why the camera messes with me. Tav X, there we go. Tav X. There we go. Tav X. Tav X. Tav X. Purity becoming one. Hosea chapter 8. Listen, everything's leaking out at the end. This is not going to be a scripture reading, and scripture is only what they call the Old Testament. It's called the Tanakh. I'm only going to, everything is leaking out now. We're in the end of days. I'm not giving any dates or anything like that, but everything is leaking out. The heathens know who we are. A lot of them. I ain't gonna say all of them, but a lot of them know who we are. It's definitely Psalm 83 in effect. It may look to some of you, oh, they're just doing all this wicked stuff to just depopulate the whole earth. No, it's to get you and to get me. That's what's going on. Beverly Batista, Tav X, purity becoming one. Tav X, this is a late night. I didn't think anybody would come on. I was getting ready to start it right now. And it's not going to be a in-depth Bible study, Tanakh study. It's going to just, everything's leaking out because we're in the end of days. I don't know exactly what time period, but we're in the end, the last season. Yeah, after I do this, I'm going to take a shower and head to the bed. It's later over here. It's well, no, it's 12:35. But anyway, I usually go to bed anyway late. But anyway, listen, me and you are going to start right now. I ain't waiting for anybody because this is not a Torah lesson. This is just an update. A lot of stuff is leaking out now. We know all the things that are leaking out. We already know those things. The heathen Gentiles are getting it. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. They just hide it from you. The main elites of society just once they want to hide it from the masses, like we don't exist, but we do exist. And all the wicked things they do on the earth is not, because they just want to depopulate the whole earth. No. They want to extinct you and me. The Torah, Tanakh, only Hebrew Israelites, which are the only ones who suffer the curse of Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26. And nobody else on the earth suffers these curses. So they do all these things. They steal our culture. They try to eliminate us. And they're doing some crazy things. So this is just an update on it. And guess what? Me and you are going to start right now because I'm just going to show a couple clips. And I'm going to call it quits. This is just to show when I saw these things, my videos and my notes, my videos, I share all the information with you. And when I come across something, fair use, interesting, I want to show it. And listen, you don't really have to ask, who's this channel? One channel I'm going to show you is a Messianic woman. She's terrible. But guess what? People send her good information, like what's going on. Hey, chew the meat, spit out the bones. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So you don't really need, just listen and hear the clips, and we're going to call it quits after that. All I want to do is I want to give you some end time updates. What's going on for your information, FYI. Let's start. We're going to start with this one. Let's start with this one. This is why I made other videos. All the doors are closed. Most High said in Daniel 9, he's going to do unto Israel what he has not done in the earth ever. And we're witnessing it now, and it's just going to get worse. So this is just an update. I'm going to show you a couple clips, and we're going to call it quits. Fair use, fair use.
You've heard about Texas building their own military site due to all of this infiltration from the border. Well, what would you guys do if you had 8 to 10 million people already come across the border and a projected 54 million to come? That's right. The app developed for these folks has 54 point something million people that have registered to come across the border. All right, guys, I have to tread very lightly on this subject. I'm sure you know why. So try to read into some of the things that I'm saying. Watch out for code words, and definitely deep dive this yourself if you find it concerning.
All right. Just watch.
My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Now, even though Texas and Florida are getting hit hard, this can affect much of the United States, and it already has. Oh, and if you guys could start this video off with a like, share it at the end if you end up finding it informative. Need all the help we can get on these videos that don't really want moving fast. Now, aside from the border stuff, you think of Texas, you might see a cougar, you might see snakes, spiders, a bull shark, alligators, but none of those compare to one of the deadliest animals out there that comes in a small package. Dangerous critters we think big, slithery, but when it comes to taking someone's life, it's shocking to hear the numbers, but with over 725,000 human deaths per year, the deadliest animal on the planet is the mosquito, the annoying little creature that spreads disease like malaria and the West Nile virus, which is a big reason why they kill so many humans per year. And you can bet they're going to blame this on how the climate's changing, but when you find out the science is messing with genetics and who's behind it and all the controversy down in Texas, the tinfoil hat gears start turning. Right here in this video, people say it's all Billy G's mosquitoes, but you can see them being dropped in Florida from a helicopter. Look, just flying all over Florida, allegedly dropping mosquitoes. Now, folks, these videos started going viral, I would say at September of 2023, and I've heard of recent reports of it going again, and now we're getting reports that Texas is gonna get hit hard. And in Texas, there's a lot more barren land for helicopters to be cruising at night, cruising when no one's watching, a lot more territory than Florida. I think Billy G is the largest investor in bioengineered mosquitoes, and there's a malaria outbreak in America. Now, let me carefully summarize this video that I'll post over on my Rumble page. So I'll have a Rumble link down in the description below. I'll go ahead and throw some stuff up over there that I can't play here. Now, what he's doing is messing with gene drive, which is genetically changing the mosquito. Some people refer to these as flying syringes. So basically, with them genetically modifying these mosquitoes, it has everything to do with what they say is malaria ratification. So what Billy G says, the purpose of all of this, genetically modifying mosquitoes, is to get rid of malaria by giving them malaria. They're calling it malaria eradication. He's saying in the future, we will have gene drive, which will change the genetics in the mosquito, which is currently evolving, and they've got exciting new stuff coming out. Now, have you seen this article from NPR? So you guys know that you get an itchy spot, a red spot, after you got hit by a mosquito. And essentially what they're doing is sticking their little syringe down into you, and they put their spit, their saliva, whatever they've got in them is going into you. And that's what you're having the allergic reaction spot from. So the talk is whatever they are putting into you can act as a potential vaccine. So the buzz is them to have malaria vaccines in them. Like this article right here from NPR, you may have missed it. A box of 200 mosquitoes did the vaccinating in a malaria trial. That's not a joke. So that they can vaccinate you against malaria. So let me tell you how this works. So what they've
Un antiguo sacerdote advierte, no estudies inglés hasta que hayas visto esto. ¿Has soñado alguna vez con hablar inglés con tanta fluidez que imponga respeto y te abra oportunidades inesperadas? Conozca a Marisa, una estudiante.
What they've done is bioengineered the mosquitoes so that they have malaria in them. But they say it can't make you sick and supposedly genetically modified so it can't spread malaria. But it will give you enough of the virus so you can build up a defense against malaria. So the huge problem is that doesn't work. Aren't you just spreading malaria? So the thing is, what if that doesn't work? Sounds like a disastrous situation. Billy G's such a great idea and he says it's going to work. He's a great guy. We should just trust him, right? Here's the big buzz. If they were to put something in the mosquitoes and you got hit by the mosquito, where's the informed consent? Isn't that illegal? You guys know that a lot more testing and a lot more stuff has been happening if that's been happening. So back to Texas and Florida. You got the huge kickback down in Texas. And then, like I said, all some so-called mosquitoes coming through. One of those things that just makes you scratch your head. It gets even worse. Check this out. Sputnik on X puts this post out. It says, Russian army uses never before seen nanotechnology to shield soldiers from bioengineered NATO mosquitoes. You guys don't know about all this crazy stuff going on around the world because they don't want you to know. Just look it up. There's a lot happening here. Nature News. First genetically modified mosquitoes released in the United States, May of 2021. Rice News, bite this. Mosquito feeders chamber uses fake skin, real blood. The 9th of February in 2023. Smithsonian Magazine, why a U.S. company plans to release 2.4 billion genetically modified mosquitoes. That was in 2022. Scientific America, first genetically modified mosquitoes released in the U.S. are hatching now in 2021. And you guys don't think people haven't been experimented on with the skeeters? Some of you wondering, does the FDA know about this? Well, by the sounds of it, the FDA approved the release of 2.4 million bioengineered designer mosquitoes in Florida and California. I like how this person put it. Is there a diabolical connection between the sudden cases of malaria in Florida and Texas and the genetically modified mosquitoes backed by the millionaire in a harrowing tale of biotechnology, public health crisis, and unchecked influence of wealth? An unsettling pattern begins to emerge. You guys got to tell me what you think down in the comments. Leave specific names. Say it like Billy G. The algorithm is programmed to weed out words and slow videos. They're dropping genetically modified mosquitoes on the human population. What could go wrong? Now, right here is a mosquito factory, and they make 30 million mosquitoes a week. I'll read you some verbiage that was attached to this video because I got to edit it. Billy G, a man who believes the world is massively overpopulated, right? Funds the world's largest mosquito factory, which breeds 30 million bacteria-infused mosquitoes per week, then unleashes them on the unsuspecting public to save and improve millions of lives. That makes sense, right? Goes on to read, why would a man who believes the world is massively overpopulated, a belief he has publicized, stated, and numerous occasions, want to save millions of lives? Or does Billy G have an ulterior motive? Comment down below. Listen, folks, pieces of the puzzle. Like, these things are really, really happening. I know it's not in our face. We don't see it like we drive by fast food facilities. We certainly don't see it on the big mainstream. And we've talked about the fake meat they're making, right? Check this coincidence out. The Defender News article reports, fake meat produced by genetically engineered fruit flies. What? The biotech company Future Fields notified Canadian regulators of its intention to commercialize Ento-Engine fruit flies genetically engineered to produce foreign proteins that would be used in the development of lab-grown meat. I don't want that meat. How about you guys? If you guys are new to your channel, we can definitely direct you to good, clean, safe meat. Back to, is Texas a target? Well, you don't suppose that Billy G is tied in with the puppeteer of everything else. KXAN News, Texas, flesh-eating parasite linked to international travel may be endemic to Texas, U.S., per the CDC. Another one to watch out for. CDC reports sandfly disease spreading throughout the U.S. And this goes hand in hand with the ticks. Lots of reports of bioengineered ticks. Disclaimer, I'm sure none of this is true. Do your own research. For those of you that want some natural defense, let's go over some natural options because the ones they give you are full of chemicals. 4 natural ways, especially from some of you people down there in Texas, to get rid of the massive mosquitoes. This one I'm going to be trying soon. Burn some coffee grounds. This is probably something you don't want to do inside for several obvious reasons. Take some used coffee grounds. The mosquitoes do not like the smell of coffee. Most of us have some stale coffee in the back of the cabinet. You might also collect the old grounds from your pot each day to burn. Like I said, I'm going to start doing that one because for some of you that know, I'm still down here in Puerto Rico dealing with real estate and they are attacking me like fresh meat. But that's only when I don't have my essential oil repellent on. This stuff, I swear, works just as good as Max Wood Deep Wood DEET. And it's natural, guys. That's the way to go. 99% effective against mosquitoes and other biting insects. We're talking about ants, ticks, fleas, mosquitoes. And the best thing is DEET-free, natural, essential oils. I'm telling you, I'm an ex-user of DEET. Works great, good quality essential oils. Works just as good. That's something that's exclusive.
Wait. Did you see that or you didn't see that? Because I just noticed. Beverly, did you see any of this stuff? Because I didn't realize the other computer turned off the screen. So did you see and did you hear? Tell me a one. Type. Just type. Yes, we didn't see most of it because I want it done right. Type in Koheleth, teacher, whatever. Did you see it still or you didn't see it? What does one mean? Tell me what one. One means yes, you seen it. Like do it easy. I didn't say one. I saw all of it. Okay, see, that's what I was because I could when I came back to the computer, you didn't like, and I didn't see anything on this screen. Okay, you said you saw it, so I don't have to redo it. And I heard it. Okay, all right. So listen, let's go to the next one. Fair use. Fair use. Remember, this is just an FYI video. It's just an FYI video. Okay, now this one, I'm going to do this one. This one, listen, this is a Messianic woman and Negro woman. She's usually out of order with her JC and all this other stuff. Remember, chew the meat, spit out the bones. All these people copy us. They are Psalms 83. They stole our culture, made religions out of it, stole our culture, and said they were us, took the lands. Negroes inhabit all the areas of the earth first. Caucasian types come afterward. That's another video. But they lied. All your schooling is just brainwashing. Your college is advanced brainwashing. Everything is a lie. And that's why my thumbnail is a bucket leaking water, because everything is leaking out now. All the information is leaking out. The Most High is doing it. We already know because we study. But I'm making this FY for your information video because a lot of people don't know. And heathens watch my channel. So this is so they can hear, because they're definitely not going to look these things up. They like everything the same. The Negroes at the bottom, every Negro's an African, but they have different types of nationalities within their race, but we don't. No. Everything's a lie. And this so-called Arab guy is going to tell the truth. So let's listen to it. I was very intrigued when he was talking. He was preaching to the choir because I know all this stuff already. But I said this would be a good adjunct to put on my channel for people that don't know. And listen, and remember, don't worry about who's the lady. She's a Messianic. She doesn't believe in the Most High. She believes in a JC and the Most High, and that's incorrect. So she's teaching everybody to go to the hot volcano. So don't worry about who she is. Just listen to what he says. Fair use, fair use. Let me do that again. She may come on and try to get me. Fair use. People know. Psalm 83, everything's leaking out.
The Assyrians, the Babylonians. Oh, yes, he's going to get all off into all of that. He's even going to talk about the Jews, right? The Arabs, everyone. He knows the truth. Take a listen, and of course, I will be right back.
When black people claim that the ancient Hebrews and Jews were black people, and Jesus was not a white man, many white people come across and say, okay, Jesus was not a white man, but he wasn't a black person either, because he was from the Middle East, and therefore, according to them, he must have looked like Arabs. But this is a fallacy. Just because the modern population of a region looks like X doesn't mean that the ancient inhabitants of that region looked also like X. For example, look at Australia. Are white Australians descended from the ancient Aborigines? Or are white Mexicans descended from the ancient Mayans? Of course not. The Middle East is the most melting pot region of the world. There are black, white, brown, Indian-looking and Mongolic-looking people in this region, all of whom claim to be native and indigenous to this region. And for example, in Arabs, there are black, white, and mixed, the so-called brown Arabs, all of whom claim to be the real Arabs. But which of them is the real Arab? The black one, the white one, or the brown one? The same goes for Iran. There are many different ethnic groups in Iran. There are Mongoloid-looking Turkmens, there are Indian-looking Baluch, there are native blacks, there are white-looking Turks, there are mixed-looking Kurds and Lurs. Which of them is the true Iranian? And unlike what the believers of the Indo-European hoax claim, the white-looking people in this region are not descended from the ancient mythical Indo-Europeans. These people are mostly Turks or descended from Turks. For example, here in Iran, up to 40% of people are Turks, and I don't know how many of them are descended from Turks, meaning are related to Turks. And the most white-looking people of Iran are mostly Turks, but there are also Russian, Georgian, and Armenian people too living in this region. And we all know that Turks are not an indigenous people to this region. They came from southern Russia and the Central Asia in recent centuries. And they cannot be an indigenous people to this region. The ancient inhabitants of the ancient peoples of the Middle East were all different types of black people, different groups of black people. Assyrians were a black people, Persians were black people, Elamites were black people, and Arabs, yes, were black people. That's why you see Assyrians have depicted themselves with curly hair, curly beard, and dreadlocks. That's why you see Persians have depicted themselves with curly hair and curly beard. And even there are many wall paintings found in Susa in which Persians have depicted themselves with black skin, have painted themselves with black skin. So therefore, Persians were black people, not a so-called Indo-European. And I believe that Persians, Assyrians, Arabs, and all of the ancient inhabitants of the Middle East were an Ethiopian type of people, the so-called Semitics, an Ethiopian type of people. People like the Somalis, like Ethiopians, like Eritreans, like Djiboutis, like dark-skinned Yemenis. You know, they weren't white people. Why? Because the temperature here in this city goes up to 50 degrees Celsius in summers with a high intensity and a UV index of 12. White people cannot endure this heat. They cannot tolerate this heat. So they cannot be indigenous to this region. Because we semi-white looking people cannot stand this heat. We cannot go outside too much in summers. But how can white people be indigenous to this region? And I don't say this because as you can see, I'm not a black person, and I look mostly like whites than blacks. I just want to tell the truth that the ancient inhabitants of these regions, from Babylonians, Assyrians, Elamite, Persians, Jews, were all black.
Okay, so what I'm finding out is that
Okay, so let me stop.
And
This is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop.
Let me, ain't talking about poop right now. Listen, remember, I said chew the meat, spit out the bones. Don't worry about them talking about JC. Just the main part that I want you to hear is he's telling you that everybody's Negro. I've been saying that for years on this channel. And I say it not to you guys that know, these heathen Gentiles that watch the video. Yeah, we're this, we're that. No, you're not. You guys come after. You're like from the World Fair, the incubator babies and so forth and so on. It's not being mean, it's just the truth. Everybody's been brainwashed. They have to lie about everything to keep that white superiority thing going up. And little Karen and little Bob, they feel good about themselves. So they're going to they have to tell us a lie that we're nothing and we're at the bottom. And they invented everything. They made all the books. They're the people in the scripture. They're the people in all these lands, and they were not. All the lands. I have an Irish last name. You were a slave. They brought your family from Africa and they brought you to... No, the Negroes are in Africa. The Negroes are in Africa. African Negro, Hamites. Negroes in America, North America, South America, all the Caribbean islands, South Pacific islands, Russia, China, all over. The original people of the earth were Negro. All of them. I'm European. No, you're not. You're Indo-European. Everything is a lie. And now everything is being leaked out, because we're living in the end of days. So, I wanted to share that with you because that's a new one that, that was the first time I heard about that guy. So I said, let me do this. Now we're going to get into just, hold on, let me see. This is something disturbing for people that are in America because, listen, they hate us. Psalm 83, they hate us. With the reparations and stuff like that, they could have gave us our money, which the Negroes here in America should all be millionaires. They could have gave us all our money a couple times over. They're giving it to Ukraine. They've been giving it to fake Israel and all the Indians, the fake Indians, and all over casinos and all. They could have gave us money. And now, this is what I heard today. So I said, let me share it with you guys. They're giving no interest house payments to illegals to buy houses. But we can't buy houses. the Most High said, I'm gonna put over you the most wicked demon. He said, he said, I'm gonna bring the most demonic person and put them over you in Ezekiel chapter 7. He said, I'm gonna send you the worst of the heathens. So these, they do this to push it in our face. They send all that money to Ukraine to put it in our face. Because they could have paid us already. Reparations. Every single Negro in America. Sending money to Ukraine, buying all these war weapons, giving these Brazilian immigrants that don't live in America, letting them come over, giving them cars, hotels, free food, free rent, and now giving them interest-free house payments. How could they even qualify? They got no resume. They got no history here. But you're gonna let them even apply and then give them zero interest rates. You guys are the devil that the Bible speaks of, and we don't care. It's too late in the game for you to try to repay us. You're not going to do it anyway because you're the devil that the Bible speaks of. But I'm just highlighting and revealing all your wickedness. I'm only going to play just a couple minutes of this, maybe 1 or 2 minutes.
You guys want to know about another monstrous thing that you will not see on mainstream media? I read this one. My jaw hit the floor. When Americans like us have a difficult time getting a good interest rate, we now have to deal with this. Migrants will get interest-free home loans under new bill. When I thought it couldn't get any crazier. Don't you think that social economic home ownership should be offered to the Americans before the 10 million that just came across? Undocumented ones? More crazy stuff that you guys need to be aware of coming right up.
Okay. That's just what I wanted. That's just what I wanted to show you with that. We don't need to, I don't want to, it's late at night. I don't want you to go to bed and have bad dreams and be very angry at night. I'm telling you, we're dealing with the devil. You could keep thinking he's doing this to affect all the Americans and all the people. No, he's doing it to slap you in the face. Because he knows some of us are smart, as you and myself. You'll think, hey, wait a minute. You mean you could send all that money to Ukraine, bazillions of dollars to Israel, and all over the world and everything all the time. And then undocumented immigrants, they could buy houses too. They stay in hotels for free. School, they ban schools to let them in there. They driving around cars. You could think not. They driving around cars. They got credit cards and they can't pay us back. They're the devil that the Bible speaks of. And they know we see it. And that's to push it in our face because they're the devil that the Bible speaks of. So I wanted to end that. I don't want to make you very mad watching that. Now, listen, the Most High made us the salt of the earth. The Most High made us the salt of the earth. When I've told you on this channel a lot of times, they copied almost everything from us. I actually mean it. Down to the cartoons. And this I never heard before. So remember, my videos and my notes and my video. We're going to end on this nice little FYI for your information. And I'm going to call it a quits. This was just an update what's going on in the earth on Hebron Island 2. And when I saw this, I said, these are fucking devils, boy. They copy everything. Oh, we discovered this, we did this. You haven't did anything, nigga, except be the devil. Look at this. And these are for the older people that know about her. I know about her. Probably some of you know about her because they still make T-shirts about her and little stuff.
So this lady started performing with Esther Jones' vocal style and performance style. And when the cartoon came out, Miss Girl tried to sue the cartoonist for stealing her style. And so in the courtroom, they found out about Esther Jones, and they ruled against her. Ms. Girl is giving cultural appropriation. Betty Boop was inspired by Esther Jones. So give her flowers.
And ain't you kind of gay when you hear me say I love you? Oh, tell me, baby, or ain't you? And don't
Oh, what's this I see? Betty Boop was inspired by a black woman? That's right. Let me introduce you to Esther Jones, who performed at the Cotton Club as Baby Esther. But then this one lady named Helen Kane saw her performing in a jazz club, and she was like, oh my God, I think I'm about to steal. So this lady started performing with Esther Jones' vocal style and performance style. And when the cartoon came out, Miss Girl tried to sue the cartoonist for stealing her style. And so in the courtroom, they found out about Esther Jones, and they ruled against her. Miss Girl is giving cultural appropriation. Betty Boop was inspired by Esther Jones. So give her flowers.
And ain't you kind of gay when you hear me say I love you? Oh, tell me, baby, or ain't you? And don't
Oh, what's this I see? Betty Boop was inspired by a black woman? That's right. Let me introduce you to Esther Jones, who performed at the Cotton Club as Baby Esther. But then this one lady named Helen Kane saw her performing in a jazz club, and she was like, oh my God, I think I'm about to steal. So this lady started performing with Esther Jones' vocal style and performance style. And when the cartoon came out, Miss Girl tried to sue the cartoonist for stealing her style. And so in the courtroom, they found out about Esther Jones, and they ruled against her. Miss Girl is giving cultural appropriation. Betty Boop was inspired by Esther Jones. So give her flowers.
and ain't you
Yo, that's the video today. You know, it's sickening. They walk around like we did everything. We're this. You're zero. Saying 666. Go back to Christianity and New Testament, and it's nothing. It's a zero. Where Hebrew is like we decide what is what, not you demons. Bring that shit up here. It's in the Bible. The New Testament is not the Bible. It's epistles and letters. Fakery, plagiarism. What prophet, minor or major, said anything about 666? Where? Oh, wait, tell me. Tell me the chapter and verse, and tell me. You can't. You can't tell the Koheleth, because I've read it too many times, studied it, and got a lot of notes. They copy everything from us, down to the cartoons. Everything. So, I just want to give you an end times update. Hopefully this was edifying. Well, not just edifying, but just information that, could help. Again, I want to say for the troopers that came in, Tavex, purity becoming one. Tavex, purity becoming one. Tavex, to Beverly Batista. Who else? Damon for Yah. Tavex, great to have you. Those heathens are scared, and you can see it in their face. Even they are waking up knowing who we are. Correct, Damon. That's why I'm making this video, because some of them are gonna watch it. They ain't typing. They still on, but they ain't typing. They listen. What they have done, they are scared, because like they did so much and never repaid anything. But the Most High is just, and they kind of know it. That's why they running scared. It's going to get worse, and more stuff will be leaked out as the days go on, the days, the weeks, the months, and the eclipses. They're gonna be. You're gonna see a lot more. Okay, Beverly. I just got so offended when they mentioned JC. Yeah, listen. This is why I just said I get offended, but there's no, like, I don't know how to cut things, and I can't do all that stuff. So that's why I told you, chew the meat, spit out the bones. Don't don't worry who she is or whatever. I tell you, they're messianics. They don't know what the hell's going on. What I wanted you to bring from that is that fake Arab guy telling you that everybody's Negro, which I've been saying for a long time. The JC, I couldn't stop it and pause it, but just don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I got offended as well. Yep. Me too. I cringed. I cringed too. I was like, when I heard him say it, I just said, shit. But remember, there's not going to be anything perfect right now. But you're Kohelet. I ain't down with none of that shit. I got a lot of videos against it. But for you to get the guy, I didn't know exactly what, and I wanted you to hear him from the beginning. So anyway. And I'm glad you cringed. That means you got the right spirit in you. And is this the Star of David? Vlog, I don't know who the hell you are. I don't know who you are. This is a Torah and Tanakh Hebrew Israelite channel. The real physical Israelites are the niggas that have been scattered to the four corners of this flat earth, who only suffer the curses of Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26, and no other people on this earth does. And Christianity, let me just mention something about Christianity, because I don't know, you could be a Christian on here listening. The Christians don't even know their own false testament, because, that demon JC that everybody cringed when he said it, his statement in the New Testament says, if you see me, you seen the Father. But a lot of you Caucasians are very racist. And all you other people on the earth are racist towards us. And, a lot of you say you believe in the scriptures, but then think about it. He says that in the fake New Testament. And, most of us was Christians before we became Messianics, and then we became Torah. So it was a process. I was an assistant. That's why I know the scriptures, because I read the Old Testament a lot of times. But as a Christian, I was an assistant pastor in America for a while. So, there's a verse, it's a verse, but it's not from scripture. It's from the New Testament. The demon JC says, if you seen me, you seen the Father. But that's why they don't go into the New Old Testament, which is the only testament. It's called the Tanakh. They don't want to go there because when they trip and fall into Daniel chapter 7, the Most High showed a vision to Daniel how he looks in his throne room, and he has hair as wool. Who has woolly type hair on the planet? Negro types. And then when they tripped and fell into Daniel chapter 10, describing the Most High again in his throne room, he says his arms and his legs are as burris bronze. Bronze is this color. And this is, I'm not as dark. My legs are lighter. It's because I live in a hot country. It's sunny. I'm outside. The sun is baking. But the Most High given a description of how he looks in that vision. And he says his arms and legs are in color to burnished bronze. In the KJV it says brass and stuff. No, bronze. You know what color bronze is? It's this. This is what he says. So he says in the fake New Testament, JC says, if you see me, you see the Father. Them wicked Caucasian Christians and Catholics, that's why they don't go in the Old Testament. Because he said, well, our supposed Savior said, if you see me, you seen the Father God. Well, the Father God in Daniel chapter 7 is saying his hair is wool. This is freaking This is wool, nigga. Wool. Like wool. Not stringy dog hair like you guys got, you Gentiles. Nah. Nope. Then he says his arms and his legs are in color to polished burrish bronze. It's brown. Like I got a lot of brown in my apartment. That's the color that he's presenting himself to Daniel in the vision. So then you crazy Christians that say you're so smart, you if he said, if you see me, you see the Father. So your demon JC, you should have him as a Negro type guy. He's not real, but that's because when you read Daniel chapter 7, the creator says he's brown, like bronze. A bronze statue. You ever see a bronze statue? That's me and you guys out there who's typing. You guys are the devil that the Bible speaks of. You can't handle, you want the truth, but you can't handle the truth. That creator, when he judges you in his throne room, he gonna be this color. If he decides to want to show you that type of form, you're gonna be pissing in your pants. And you know where you're going after the judgment, right? Okay, we got it. All right, this is a New Year's from Israel. This was an FYI for your information video. Hopefully this was edifying. Until next time.